Hi guys, this is Sidney. So I'm on camera today, right now, outside. So actually, I wasn't planning on being on camera, and especially I'm outside and there's some noise out here. So I don't have any equipment to, the camera holder and everything. But suddenly I felt called to be on camera and share the message. So I just trust the divine timing and the divine guidance. So I'm basically out at this cafe that I found as I was taking a walk around where I stay. And I felt called to come here today. And to come here, I have to walk for about 20-25 minutes, and I enjoy that walk because there are not many cars and it's just out in the nature, few houses. So last time I did that I really enjoyed, so I wanted to enjoy the sun and the nature a little bit and walking. So I took the walk here, and as I was walking where I'm staying, there are a little river stream. It's connected to the Ping River, the main river here in Chiang Mai, and this is all leading to the big river that's leading to Bangkok. So as I was walking, it's deep in the woods, but I saw a lot of garbage around trees, around people left in certain places, the broken objects. And I suddenly felt really called to call in all the elementals to clear up all the garbage and touch people's consciousness in this area. And then I was just doing some frequency and grid work for Gaia, and I was feeling really called to do that. So I stood looking over to the river, and then I visualized all this light going through the root of the tree, and then spreading that all around because all the roots are connected, and throughout this entire land of Chiang Mai, and then spreading that bigger entire land of Thailand, and then all through Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, all this Southeast Asian countries, all the way to Australia. So I was calling in dragons specifically, especially to clear up some water, the water dragons. And then they started to come down, and then that light was transferring to all the water streams and then clearing the waterways. And as they are doing, it's going to touch the consciousness of the people so that they protect the nature and they nurture and garner this beautiful heaven on earth that we often forget to appreciate and protect. So that's what I was feeling called to do. And then as I was sitting here, as I looked into the clock, it was 1:44. And then all of a sudden, right now, I'm getting 144,000 frequency holders, grid workers, especially to work with nature, work with the land, work with Gaia. Gaia is calling all the 144,000 who's, if you're connecting with this, however you resonate with these words or terms, it doesn't really matter. Always tune in with your own heart for discernment, whether you resonate or not. Okay, so this is something that you can do anywhere and everywhere. You can just stand there. Sometimes what I do is I just touch the leaf of a flower like this, just like this with my finger, or touch the tree with one hand or both hands. You don't have to take off your shoes. And for me, I can check the frequencies here, and sometimes some of the trees are not very high vibrational, even though they look big, and because of the roots. So right now, we have been working with setting our foundations very strong the last quarter of this year. So what I received was Sun was in Sagittarius at 27 degrees on, I believe, on the 18th of December, around 18th, 19th. And then it was squaring exact to the Neptune in 27 degrees. And when I received that information, immediately 999 came to me. And that this whole energy of this big cycle that's ending the marking of the age of darkness, we officially we are moving into age of light. So that information came on very strong, and for the past month I've been receiving constantly messages of Uranus, Uranus, Uranus. So there are going to be a lot of unexpected energies coming in for changes, disruptions. So that's why I kept mentioning chaotic energies, hang tight, right? Stay in your peace and non-reactive state to hold your love and light, because a lot of the things around can be very chaotic, as old has to crumble down, and that is the process that we are going through. So the pivotal time, the timeline that I received in the near future, that year 2025, 2026, 2027 will be the very pivotal years for us going into this age of light. That's going to bring in a lot of fear and insecurities out of people, as we are going to receive a lot of new information, new perspectives, such as extraterrestrial disclosures and a lot of these things, and a lot of the other forces that are in the dark are, you know, still trying to hold on to their status quo, are going to resist very hard and will do anything they can to slow down the process, or they what they will do is they will resist the hardest that they can. But at large, it's just like the destiny of the Gaia, but with the details of what we do and what we choose can change drastically and impact drastically about the future events and future timelines of Gaia. So that's why they want me to share this message. And also the reason why it's very important that we constantly monitor on the AI developments and consciousness and technological advancements that are going to speed up everything, is because even though there's a highest reality for Gaia that is existing in parallel versions, so-called, right, parallel reality, however you resonate with these terms. A lot of people are now here about talking about ascension is to align with that energy and to live in that reality, basically. That also implies that there will be other versions or other parallel realities of the earth that are simultaneously coexisting. And the warning that I received, the warning and the danger that I kept receiving in the last video that I mentioned, when I was guided to go to the aquarium in Kuala Lumpur, and they showed me about Atlantis and new level, new devil, like warnings and dangers, all these messages were relating to that, was that in far down the future, not just 100 years, but 200 years, but like 500 years, 600 years later, that's what we are talking about. The warning and danger is what I got. And also every time on camera, my spirit team and Gaia and Source are simultaneously with me, communicating telepathically. So what I'm getting from Source is that it has to do with that far down the line future. That's why our role is very important, that we've been training ourselves all this life and also many other life on earth for this particular moment. So in that sense, that is why it's so significant, is what I'm guided to share. And so what's going to take place is that there are many parallel realities that I'm psychically seeing into that future, not just maybe like few hundred years time, that AI is in governance of everything else over humanity and whatever, and all these doomsday scenarios that Hollywood movies were making, and all these things could be coming true in one of the parallel realities. And I kept sharing that we need to clear out all these parallel timelines, is because they can seep through time portals to come to other parallel reality of the earth that is in the highest version, and there could be some dispute, or we don't want to have all these galactic wars that we went through. And if you're a starseed, your soul will remember that. That's why you have this unknown anger, or this passion for justice or sovereignty in all of that. So that's one of the reasons why it's not just about individuals ascending to their highest timeline, but at the same time as light workers and all these frequency holders like me, great workers like me, earth angels. These are words that they want me to mention for some reason, so I'm just doing that. We are here on with a mission, with a purpose. So continue to stay on edge with your own consciousness. And on edge is something that they're stressing right now, because I mentioned in the latest video, War on Consciousness, as we've been heavily programmed with everything that we are surrounded by, the TVs, the movies, the music, the news, the schools, the workplaces, everything. And as people are waking up, they're going to resist very hard, because it's going to make them feel very scared of, on an unconscious, subconscious level, not becoming anything, because the beliefs are basically what makes me who I am at this point. And we have this fear and insecurity to hold on to what we know, and it's so people experience a lot of fear of being in the unknown. That's why they hold on to what they know, and then they want to know in order to be in control, so they feel secure, which is all part of the game here, basically on Earth. So they want you to be on edge with your consciousness. Continue to do whatever to reflect on yourself, that can tap into your belief systems that may be limiting, that may be creating fear. You can release them, right? And also, right now, there's a lot of heavy emphasis on the foods that we are consuming right now. They're contaminating more and more with a lot of different medications, a lot of different propagandas that are deceiving people that taking this will cure them, taking this medication, and all the doctors and all the people in the hospital are basically conditioned through the educational system to serve their purpose. So what I experienced when I was waking up, and in this lifetime particularly, I'm guided to share, even though I was in the darkness, my gift was that I always was questioning the norm and then questioning the news. So for example, since 2012, 2013, I stopped watching all mainstream media. Then that was even before I woke up. And then I started to do my own, as I was doing my own research and working on myself, personal development stuff, I intuitively felt that all governments are basically to control and we don't have the freedom. And that was like 2015, 2016. So you may have this already, but then there are so many doubts that all this programming, and if you are born into a certain family, that you experience a lot of so-called gaslighting, projections. We had to work through a lot of different things, but still your blueprint and your soul memory will be very strong. So do not bypass your intuition is what I'm going to share. Always tune in with your intuition. And intuition is not a logical voice. It's not a reasoned voice. It's not a rational voice. It's a very subtle voice that has no reason, that has no logic, but you just know that hits you. And something, it's a sensation. It's like, it's like this. The best way I can describe is you left your bag somewhere and then you went to the bathroom and you feel like, I'm not sure if my bag is safe there. And then you go back and your bag is no longer there. Something like that, of that nature. You know what I mean, right? We all have that experience, that intuition. So we have that gift already within us. The more you exercise, the more you hone in on that, the more you take action with your intuition, you're going to fine-tune it. Fine-tune it is what I'm going to share. So exercise with your own intuition. And if you're experiencing a lot of fear because of the feelings of unknown, sit with that fear is the best I can describe. Sit with that emotion and then allow and acknowledge the fears that you're experiencing in that moment, and ask your spirit team by asking, what is it that I need to recognize with this fear so I can release? And you can also ask your spirit team, your guardian angels for help. So asking for help can really change your ascension game, is something that I'm also guided to share at this time, because even though you feel like you are alone, and in order to heal yourself, you need to go into a period of isolation, and it's part of the process because you have to find yourself in a way, remember who you are. And there is so much noise. You have to shut down and distance yourself in order to gain perspective and see everything clearly. But if you're constantly in it, it's like if you're constantly surrounded by people who's not making you feel safe, it's not going to be able to help you to sit with your own emotions, but you're going to be triggered to a fight or flight response, the survival energy constantly. So you have to, that's why the isolation is very important. And a lot of people choose not to because they're afraid of being alone, meaning lonely, dealing with loneliness. And then in that process, because we've been conditioned to believe in a certain way and feel a certain way and have a lot of memories, we have to go through the process of sadness and grief. But what I'm guided to remind you is that you are never really alone. So that this remembrance can really help you to stay strong and stay consistent with whatever journey or the work that you may be doing right now, that you are never alone. You didn't come here alone, because this is one of the densest or the most dense planets. So we didn't come here alone. We have our supports. So ask for help, ask questions, and the way you ask questions is always have to be open-minded. So set an intention to stay open, and then always ask them, how can I do this, rather than I don't like this, help me take this away. This is taking your power away. So always ask questions as if you are in power, commanding, and how you can take responsibility, how you can release, how you can recognize and learn something from the situation, because everything is divinely guided and timed. So for example, I'm guided to share, if someone is constantly in a defensive energy, reactive, then that energy is always going to attract a lot of the fights and disputes and conflicts around you in your reality, until you recognize that's the frequency that you're holding. You see, everything is a reflection. So that is basically how it's working, and sometimes we forget, so I'm just here to remind you, right? So we are in this together, that you also have support from me as well. What else? And energetically, ascension wise, another news is that we are moving into an even higher frequency right now, and especially through 15th, where it was the full moon, and then the 16th, 17th, leading up to that 27 degrees in Sun in Sagittarius squaring Neptune in 27 degrees. And then 21st, today, where I am in Chiang Mai, is the winter solstice. So the energy has been rising up continuously. So you may have been feeling extra tired, lethargic, and dealing with a lot of heavy emotions or whatever that you may be going through uniquely. And it was all for that culmination point, where which I mentioned in previous videos, the latest ones. At 21st of December, the winter solstice is going to mark the total axis point, and that the Gaia's pole that was tilted out of the center for the experimentation of the age of darkness has shifted back into alignment, or the closer to alignment. And what I'm guided to share, it's all preparation for extraterrestrial disclosure and other spaceships for them to come through to the energy of the earth more easily. So basically, some people may be aware already that pyramid is a portal. The portal, the Syrian and Pleiades, they used to come through that portal, but when the earth went off grid and we went into the age of darkness, the lower density, they could no longer come through that portal, right? So there are a lot of things inside the pyramid, under the earth. So basically, everything is in alignment energetically at celestial level. It's all supporting cosmic level. And since last week, or at the beginning of, at the end of November, I started to receive the message of Pluto, and then it was gone. And then it was Uranus, and then Neptune. And then suddenly, all of a sudden, about a week ago, I received the message or the energy from Pluto. And later what I received was that it was about the new light codes that we are going to receive from Pluto, that I mentioned about the Pluto. We are receiving a lot of new light codes in 2024. And in 2025, what we are receiving, or the support, is that we are going to receive all these light codes from Pluto continuously. That is the 6th dimensional energy. So 6D energies that we can embody on Earth for the first time in so many years. And then it's going to help us activate the 7D crystalline body, so we could move up to the 6D reality in this lifetime with our level of consciousness. So it's expansive energy. So that's why the Sagittarius season at this point, with 9/9 ending the marking of everything that is old, that is crumbling down, and the axis of the solstice and equinox. And that I mentioned in the previous video that certainly I felt the shift in that axis point, and that alignment has been made. And with that was a few months ago, and now in December, with that energy solidifying what is taking place, which I also mentioned in the latest video, there are a lot of people, like so-called whistleblowers and truth tellers, are going to come to the surface, and they need our energy of support for their protection, because they're being in the front line, speaking their truth and helping people to wake up. And this is a very delicate and difficult process, is what I'm going to share. And from my own experience too, and all my life I was able to see through the matrix, and I didn't buy into a lot of the belief systems that my parents were holding and projecting, and people around me. So basically, I was doing things differently that made me feel a certain way that I had to work through in this lifetime. And in the process, I was still trying to help a lot of people who were projecting onto me, because I saw the repercussion or the consequences of their choices. If they do this, they're going to suffer. So I was constantly trying to help them out. And a lot of light workers or earth angels may resonate with this, especially with family members and people around you. And then you're sharing this knowledge and information, trying to educate them. But I had to go through that experience on purpose, of how much resistance we hold through the programming that we've been receiving since the moment we are on Earth. So even though they may be like, oh yes, they're going to go back to their old ways, or choosing the same thing over and over. Or some people will downright react to what you're saying, and then deny and argue and get defensive, and trying to present their own views, or trying to argue their points, or trying to negate what you're saying, basically sabotaging the truth or the light. Because when someone is in a dark place, the more darker place that they're in, they're carrying a lot more fear, and it's going to really get them reactive. So whether it's they react with anger, or react with extreme hatred or negativity, if not in front of you, behind you as well, which is all a lot of the negative energies. And a lot of light workers and frequency holders, grid workers, or 144,000 so-called, that the source is constantly guiding me to mention, when we hold certain frequencies. So part of our mission here is to hold the frequency just by being who we are. So basically, we don't need to do anything but be ourselves. But this concept or the level of consciousness is very much hard to grasp. And that's why we are healing, meaning we are taking off all these programming layers one by one, one by one. And that is part of the so-called healing process as well, so that you are enough being. And then that's what we're here for. So we hold that frequency of peace, love, and light, and harmony, and abundance. So we are here to, just by us being sitting here, it's our frequencies affecting everyone around us, or going to a shopping mall, it's affecting everyone. And at times, because when you go to a certain place, like when I go to a tourist attraction area, I immediately feel a very heavy energies and dense energies that's affecting my crown chakra already. But we are being called to go there at certain times, because just us being there is serving a purpose for a specific reason. And even though you may not be aware of you doing this, you've been doing this entire life, is what I'm guided to share. So it's just a matter of you being aware of what you're doing that can steer your way a lot more, with a lot more intention, so that you can direct your energy and protect your energy, and utilize your energy for the highest good. So basically, it's not an easy job, because you will face a lot of opposition. And it's like, the analogy that is coming is like withdrawal symptoms. So you have an addiction. So we've been conditioned to get addicted to a lot of things, basically addicted to pleasure. So it's like pleasure or fear. And to escape out of fear, we were conditioned to seek pleasure, which were making us being conditioned to a lot of addictive behaviors, in terms of foods, in terms of lifestyles, in terms of certain ideologies and all of that. So we are shedding all of these addictions, not to mention so-called sugar addictions, food addictions. So they're going to continuously do this. And what I am seeing is that a lot of people are having digestive issues, even though they don't talk openly about it, and at one point in their life they may have experienced it. And it's because of all the chemicals that we are consuming constantly. And about a month ago, my spirit team source Gaia had me be exposed to this information called TPN, Total Parental Care, which is like a nutrition bag for people who have hard time digesting. So when I did research, it was all synthetic nutrition, synthetic vitamins, synthetic minerals, and it's a bag. And because you can't digest it, they're going to put a hole in your tummy, and then they will, through the hose, they're providing this. And there was this one girl certainly popping up on my feed, and she said she's having digestive problems since she was 3, but she kept eating the same diet, and then it got worse and worse. So by the time she was like 11 or something like that, she couldn't eat any food at all because she was not able to digest. And so she went to the hospital, and the doctors mistreated her, and then they said this is wrong and that, and then it was all misdiagnosed. And then she said finally at a certain point in time, the doctors told her it's a digestive issue. So she started to live off of TPN, total parental care, through the hose. And she's been being fed with that for about 5 years. I think she's in high school now. And then her voice sounded very robotic. And then she's trying to keep it very optimistic. And what she said was that before, everybody was denying her symptoms and making her doubt. And the moment that she heard that she had a digestive issue and was diagnosed with TPN, she felt so much relief because she felt like she was being validated. So that's what a lot of people will experience when we seek validation instead of self-knowledge and self-empowerment. Instead of research what's TPN, what's inside, and how the body is working, and because your body can always heal with going back to the nature with herbs and all the sources from the nature. She chose to do that. I don't know, she may have a soul purpose. And so she's living off of that. So in the far down future time, I see this happening sadly with a lot of children, because a lot of children now are being fed with all these chemicals. And I mention this from time to time. Even though they don't have teeth, they're now being fed with gummies and jellies and all these things, and they're now on social media, and people think it's cute that the babies are eating this, and they have this reaction to certain tastes when they're eating certain things for the first time, right? Sugar for the first time. And they think that's entertainment, and it's making them money. So that's why I mentioned that the parents are making money off of their children, even though they don't think they are doing that. So in far down the future, and the parents grew up with these foods and they're having babies, so the stem cells are being handed down this way. So the babies are now, especially in Korea, when I go back to my hometown, there are a lot of schools around and kids. And every year, every time I come back, I see all these places being replaced with franchise that is ready-made foods, and all the sugar high foods and snacks and convenience store foods. So this is particularly really one of the dangers and warnings, alongside with the contamination in the nature, where far down the future, I'm not just talking about 60, 70 years, a lot more, we won't have the air, we won't have this nature that we see, the sunshine and everything. So that is another reality of the Gaia that I'm seeing psychically, that also Gaia and Source and my spirit team is strongly calling me to share on video. And a lot of the times we don't appreciate what we have until we lose everything. So that's another reminder to appreciate everything that we have, that we are surrounded by. That is another consciousness perspective shift. And everywhere I go, even here, I hear all the construction all the time from the place that I'm staying. They're building condos, they're doing this, and they're tearing down houses. And when I was in Kuala Lumpur, I was very curious because so many construction sites, so many condos are being built continuously. And I was buying my essential oils at the shop, and I had a conversation with a couple who was owning the shop. And the husband was working in the bank, and he came in after work, and I was chatting, basically enjoying the conversation with his wife who's running the shop. And then I asked him, why are there so many condos in Kuala Lumpur? And he's like, because of the government corruption. There seems like there are a lot of empty places in the condos, but they keep building it. And because it's the money laundering for government officials. So this is taking place everywhere. Greece, Egypt, every country in Korea. And we are going to have to deal with a lot of the empty, abandoned houses, and Japan is going through a lot of that since their peak in 1980s has started to come down, the bubbles and all of this. So it is tied to the economic breakdown as well. And that is a lot. Harming the nature is basically the message. Harming the river stream because all the construction remnants are being poured down to the water streams, and it's going down to the water. It's contaminating all the water that we're drinking, and then it's going to the ocean. It's contaminating all the water, ocean life. So that is what I'm going to share. And as I'm sharing this, I feel this very the sense of urgency and this energy as we are experiencing a lot of this high energy of the sixth dimensional energy that's going to be available, especially from January 2025. So sixth dimensional energies and then seventh dimensional energies to solidify our crystalline body, to raise our frequency. And as we do so, everything's also going to accelerate, and also the AI. I see far down the future, one of the realities that they're governing everything. So it's going to look like one of the things that we saw in the movies, doomsday movies, basically. We want to, Gaia and Source really want me to share this message so we can come together to continue to hold love, light, compassion, and love in our heart, and sharing this and hold that frequency so that people feel safe and protected to continue to heal themselves, to face their own shadow, face their own demons. A lot of them is very psychological, so you may be going out, doing the things, taking photos, putting on social media, but psychologically that person may be doomed with a lot of the karmic energies when they're not processing it. And this is something that they had me see with this one particular Korean actress that suddenly popped up on my dream time. There's going to, a lot of people are going to experience psychological warfare due to the karmic cycle that just went around and completed one cycle. So people who avoided looking into the shadow continue to project. It's not how it looks on the outside, but on inside, what person's mind is hell, basically. So this is not to scare of that you have to be scared of the repercussion and that's the punishment. It's not that idea, but from a neutral standpoint, you want to start to really embrace this, how the universe really works, the universal laws, basically. And with that knowledge and information, people will wake up to the importance of self-accountability, what it means to take responsibility of your own emotions rather than projecting or reacting, and how that's going to play out. But at first, it's going to scare them. And I know that because I experienced, I went through all these different stages in this lifetime. They had me go through this so that I could really understand on an emotional and delicate, subtle level what the person may feel and experience and relate to that. So you may react, you may be triggered with my messages and videos or other people's or whatever. So that's why I keep mentioning, to help you remember in those moments of feeling triggered with hatred, jealousy, opposition, or needing to argue, needing to negate, needing to make a point, your point, or whatever that comes into your mind psychologically that is part of the programming. Allow yourself to acknowledge is very important, is what I'm going to share. Acknowledge and embrace. Okay, I am angry. I am hateful right now. I am feeling jealousy. I don't want them to be good. I don't want them to do good. I don't agree. I think they're wrong. Not to go further than that, but just by you admitting and sitting with these reactions or these statements that are popping up in your mind, what's going to help you is that in that moment of awareness, you're in a higher consciousness. So from that point onwards, you can ask for help. What is this telling me? What is the message here? What do I need to release? What's in my belief system that's creating this dispute, this war inside me, this conflict that I want to fight or that I want to flight? So that's the first place that I'm constantly guided to remind you, which is going to be more of the stories, and also looking into your narratives and all these Hollywood movies, the franchises now. Everything Disney is now being franchised. They're creating series. They're creating these. They're the hero movies, right? It's big money. And what they're doing is they're using stories and narratives to create certain emotions so that people get attached to the characters, so that they identify with the characters, so they get obsessed. That's why they're creating fandoms, that they're making money off of their fandoms, right? More consumption, more pleasure, more amnesia, more escape. So that's the tactic. And so continue to be aware of the food that you're consuming. And the detox process is not going to just put long term, 5-10 years. So to take off any pressure for you to go back and be perfect, it's a gradual process. You may go back and forth, but continue to stay consistent in the direction that you want to head. And also with what you're consuming, be very conscious and mindful of the music, the dramas, the shows, the people that you're engaging in conversations, that the energy affects everything. So exercise discernment continuously. And also with any chaos and drama, negativity that may be going on, anything that may be projected, continue to discern that it's not your energy, right? They're playing themselves out. So just be aware of that and discern and be selective. What else? On a physical level, they want me to stress about the physical detox or the exercise. Is because with this new frequency of the 6th dimensional, 7th dimensional, these higher frequencies that we're receiving, in order to embody this energy, we also have to make room in our physical vessel to take in that light. So that's why it has to be a simultaneous, and the word that is coming is cooperative process. So you have to cooperate with your body. And always do your own research, study, educate yourself, and tune into your own intuition, because our condition is very unique. Your body is unique. So you already have all the information and knowledge that you need to know. And the body has its own intelligence. So listen to your body, tune into your body of what it needs, what it doesn't need, what it doesn't like. What else? And there are certain figures in society with certain technological advancements that they're leading this with AI, with other stuff. And especially the danger of AI, or the lower timeline of the AI technology is constantly coming up. And this one particular person, they don't want me to name the person here. You may know this or you may not. Doesn't really matter. But this one particular person is leading this technology and its development. And there are a lot of talks of whether he is in the sane mind, insane mind, or whether he is sitting with ego, not with what he's doing the right thing, he's leading us in the right way or not the way. And another person in the political figure, whether he's doing this or that. So there are a lot of talks of this, and this is leading to a lot of conspiracy theories and a lot of channeling, remote viewing of their energies. And there are a lot of informations going around. What Source, Gaia, and my spirit team are really strongly guiding me to share is that whatever information that you need will come into you in divine timing, under divine guidance. So anything that you are feeling overly seeking, needing to know, getting obsessed, that's the warning sign. That's that you're out of balance. So come back to your place and then focus what is most important. Prioritize your energy in sitting with the highest frequencies, highest self, highest timeline of your reality, in love and light and consciousness and harmony and abundance, compassion, peace, and hold that energy in your day-to-day, moment-to-moment life. That's the most important thing. And when they say we need to fight this together, we need to combat this together, there are certain people in the spiritual community that Source and Gaia wanted me to be exposed to. And they hold certain frequencies, and they're hybrid beings. And they have special gifts, and they came here with a purpose. And they're doing a lot of remote viewing and sharing a lot of the conspiracy theories of what's going on. And they play a certain role, but it's just their role. It's not the religion. So a lot of people may see that as religion, and it could make people hook into, okay, what's next? I want to know more about this. I want to know more about that. So that's the pitfall, is what I'm guided to share. So stand in your own alignment center and monitor and watch and observe, but do not get attached, do not identify. So that's 4D energies. Don't fall into a lot of these conspiracy theories, because that's how the lower entities and lower energies can seep through once you're out of that balance, and that's the tactic. So you also want to be aware of the energies of the person who's speaking and sharing the message. So that's why I keep mentioning it doesn't matter how many followers that they have, how they look and how they present themselves to look on media, on social media nowadays, promoting their contents, making people curious and hook them with phrasing and certain videos, be very mindful and aware, because sometimes we have our own realities in parallel realities, and they could interpret or certain information based on their own reflections or projections. So you want to fine-tune and dissect the energy first. So that's the exercise that you want to continue to embody, is what I'm also guided to share at this point in time, as we are experiencing this. And today is the solstice, so from today, I believe 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30, 31. So from today, we have 12 days left. So every month till this new energy starts, we can meditate and set the intention for the new day, new year, every month. And on the 24th, the Christ light will hit its peak every year. So you want to continue to embody that Christ consciousness energy, calling on that beautiful light, and continue to once again exercise gratitude, appreciation, compassion for everything that you have, you're surrounded by, and honor your being, honor your presence more than doing or achieving. And with that, the Bruce Lee quote from this movie is coming for me to share about embodying the flow state. So basically the flow state is living with the unknown. And living with the unknown in the age of darkness represent a lot of fear and insecurities, but in the age of light, living with the unknown represents the energy of joy, passion, excitement, adventure, expansion. So we are being called to embody this energy, and we've been working with that since July 7/7 portal very heavily, the water flow state. And there's the conversation in the movie of Bruce Lee where I don't exactly remember the lines, but the master in the movie and asked the Bruce Lee, who's about to, I believe, going to the competition. I didn't see the movie, and they just showed me this clip by my spirit team in Source Gaia. And the master asked, so what are you trying to, what's your goal? And I think Bruce Lee said the goal is not to have a goal. And the goal is not to have achievement, basically. And who's your opponent? When he was asked, and Bruce Lee said, no opponent. And how are you going to win this, the competition or this fight? I believe that was like kind of the question that the master asked. And the Bruce Lee said, there's no competition. And I forgot what he said, but it's like, there's no competition, there's no opponent. He's not trying to win, he's not trying to achieve. And when he's in that state, this all hits by itself. So that's the energy of the flow state. When we let go of all this programming to become something, become better, the become blah, that was part of the old programming that was tied to achieving and more and more and more, which was the ego aggrandizement that built the age of darkness. So to get out of this, we have to go back to the basics There's no opponent, no competition, is where we are being called to right now to embody further, to live in this energy of love, peace, joy, harmony, abundance. And there are a lot of different realities that are playing simultaneously, and we are now being faced with a lot of different choices. And also, lastly, what they want me to share is direction is more important than speed. So continue to meditate, reflect, and tune into your own intuition rather than rushing into for a result or that sense of achievement that we've been programmed to be addicted with, to validate our own existence, which is all part of the old game. Okay, so the reason why I'm mentioning game is this is like a game. This is another virtual reality where, okay, and then you just pass one level and there's another level and there's another level, another thing. We are here in this reality. So is there anything that you want me to share further on? Spirit, Gaia, Source. So this is really interesting for me because this just came out of nowhere. And it's so much better, the energy is so much better, surrounded by plants, the tree in front of me. I really felt the energy of peace here when I first passed by here. So I also am grateful for these plants that's holding the frequency while I was doing this, recording this video, having the conversation with my spirit team, Source Gaia. So I'm just going to what is coming up, because as I was cleaning up the land, as I was walking here, I was doing a lot of light languaging inside silently to clear up the energies of the land here. So that's where I was doing the frequency work and the grid work. Now I'm somehow feeling called to share this light language and light codes transmission here. So this transmission is about opening your heart for further Christ consciousness energy so that you can continue to do your shadow work if you're in that shadow work phase or healing phase, however you resonate uniquely. Everyone is on a unique journey. So honor your unique journey, honor your unique state of being right now, or being in every moment to moment. Okay, is what I'm going to share and to remind you with this transmission, so that you can continue to make room by shedding the old, create more room and space to embody these higher frequency lights that is supporting us, and also to embody and expand on Christ consciousness in your heart center, being filled with the energy of peace, energy of love that is unconditional, and energy of compassion, so you can continue to forgive yourself, be more loving towards yourself. That is going to be reflected outwardly, so that you carry that energy of peace, love, and harmony around you, rather than conflict, reaction, dispute, defensiveness, right? Comparison. So you can release comparison, or the programming of the comparison that's constantly restricting you to react with jealousy, envy, hatred, fear, projection, negativity, all these energies. Clearing your heart space. You remember how beautiful you are, just as you are right now. Blue Avians are here with me, transmitting this unity consciousness codes. And they want me to mention white dove. So if you're seeing white dove, it may be a sign or specific message there may be for you. Huakai tikiaia takau tukukuaia kaia takau akia hua 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 kikiaka kikiaka kakakaia kakau kukua kukua. Clearing your heart space, opening up your heart space for expansion. Ukukuakaia kakakikiaka uakakikikiaka kakauakakia kiakia. Okay, so they wanted me to do this quick transmission for anyone resonating, staying till this end. So I appreciate and honor you, and I'm very grateful if you are resonating and this is helping you in any way. So if they want me to continue this transmission and share it on Patreon, I'm going to do that. And if that happens, I'm going to put the link, relevant link, in the description box down below for anyone feeling called to connect further. So with that, I'm wishing you a beautiful, peaceful day, and I'll see you in my next video, guys. Bye.